it was, I want to include in the documentary, like, I think the journey of the ego death and like, you know, you doing that. But to do that, I wanted to give the context of the ego. And I'm wondering if you could go back to when you were in, you know, really in the depth of that ego, if you could speak from it as if you know, you were in that place, like, how did you speak about yourself? Like, you know, what was your self-talk in that moment when you had that ego?
When I was still in?
Yeah, when you were still in, yeah. So not now, just for the cameras, just for awareness, like this isn't who DJ is today, but like back then, like how would you, you know, speak of yourself or talk to who you were?
Typically humble around the guys, and when you come home, you're the real deal. Like, I'm the fucking reason we're all here. I am. That job, as much as you resent it, is the only reason you're sitting on that couch. Without them, there are no bills to pay. That creates stability for this whole family, and if I don't do it, what are we doing? I'm not going to Home Depot, I'm not getting any other job, and if you don't want to fucking be here, leave. You want to take the kids? Fucking go. Do it before I deploy. I don't care. And I'd say it just like that. If you don't like the way this fucking train is going, you can jump off anytime, honey. I'm not slowing down for you. And that was really the ego, is I had to build up these walls, and I had to build up that in my mind so I could be that Neil McCauley from Heat. I'll walk the fuck away from you right now, as much as I love you. And a lot of that is I'd never really show it. I'd show it in the honeymoon stage, and then I saw the reality, and I was like, I can't do that. Because there are times in that career path where you have to be ready to self-sacrifice. And it is a very hard thing to do when you were thinking about your wife and kids. So that is what the name of the game was. I am not thinking about you. And I tell them that now. There wasn't a singular time that I allowed them to go into my conscious thought riding on a helicopter on the way into the target. Never. I would not allow them. I didn't call them before I left. I usually didn't call them after I got home. They weren't on the forefront of my mind. And if we're being honest, if you looked at all my photos, you won't see pictures of them hanging up inside my room. I try to keep that out of sight, out of mind. And I know that sounds fucked up for me because I do love them. And hindsight being 2020, I would have left for them. But at the moment, I wouldn't have. If you would have asked me now, if I was still in, she's like, I need for you to retire, I would have retired. Knowing what I know now. Back then, I would have told her to pack her shit. And that's really what it took. Like, for me to do that job at 100%, to be able to run in and sacrifice myself right now for you, I couldn't have anything tie me down. And unfortunately for me, the only way I knew how to do that was to set up walls. Set up walls and little pillars they just couldn't get through. And I'd come to the door spitting venom out of my face just to keep them away from me. I'm leaving on a trip. Or I'd come home from a long trip, we'd get into a blowout. I'd come home pissed off about something. Like, why the fuck did I even come home for this? What the fuck am I even doing here? Why are you still here? Why haven't you fucking left me yet? I'd say things like that. Because in the back of my mind, I thought if she left, it would give me full reign to do whatever I wanted to do. Internally, it's not what I wanted. I wanted her to accept me. I wanted her to understand what I'm going through, but I didn't have the ability to say it. I didn't have the ability to sit down and tell her, like, I'm scared shitless. I'm scared shitless I'm going to lose my position in this community. I'm scared I'm going to die overseas and make you a fucking 2-time widow. There's a lot of pressure on me, man. Like, I don't know how to compartmentalize it. I don't know how to get pushed through this. The only thing I know how to do is do this job. And right now you're drawing bandwidth that I can't reproduce any other place. I don't know what else you want me to do. It's not a fucking basketball game. I can't take an off season. Like, I'm doing this same thing as many times as humanly possible until I get killed or get kicked out of this place. What do you want me to do? And it was so easy to justify. Like, guys that get killed, I'm playing for keeps, man. Playing for keeps. You sure you want me to take a 2-week fucking vacation for Christmas? I really don't want to take one. And that's a lot of what we did. We didn't take vacations. We didn't take summer vacations. We didn't take time off. I never made time to do it because I didn't think it was worth it, because it didn't have any benefit in me. At least I didn't see it at the time. It was so much easier just to, nope, we're good. I need to focus on this. And sometimes doing nothing is doing everything. Like, what do you want to do tonight? Nothing. I want to sit here and watch that TV, and I don't want you to talk to me. I'm just trying to reset my balance. And it's a hard thing for a wife to hear, man, because they do not want to hear it. They don't understand. As much as they say they do, they don't. And I think now that I'm out, that's a lot of the feedback I get. We get more calls from wives than anything else. Thank you so much for saying that, because now I understand my husband. Yeah. I'm not the greatest dude that's ever lived, clearly. But if you take me to the core and reproduce me like 10,000 times, I'm the majority of what your husband is. Yes, damn. Is he better than me? Is he more well? Sure. But at the core, the guy who's an idealist who really, really loves that job, whatever that job is, he's like me. He is setting up walls. He is trying to push you away because he's trying to focus on that right now, and he doesn't know because he doesn't have a dial. He's only got a switch. It's a hard thing, man. When you leave it, now you sacrifice the family, you sacrifice your relationship with the kids, and as we talked about today, like my whole focus now is I'm just trying to rewrite positives on top of negatives. Anytime I have a negative interaction, I try to overlay a positive on top of it. And I think the ego death gave me that. It gave me the ability to see for what it is in the time and place that it is and show remorse. Like, oh, fuck, man, I didn't mean to say that, dude. I did mean to say that. I didn't mean to say it like that. And here's why. And I'll retract it. I'll retract it really quick. But a lot of the times, I'd never do that before. I'd hammer down. Nope, that's it. And it's not a superpower to do that. It's not. To be able to show a little bit of empathy and show a little compassion to people, it goes a lot further. And we had this conversation when I was in with a guy about being able to crush people, crush your enemies, and, physically being able to control the situation. And one of the guys had one, he goes, it's one thing to be able to crush everybody. It's one thing to be able to control every situation physically. It's another to be able to control it and not let them know you can control it. I can sit back and I can let you do or say whatever you want to, and I'm not going to perceive it positively or negatively. I know that I can control the outcome of this whenever I want to. That's a superpower. I'm going to hide in the white noise and I'll just sit here, and then whenever I want to, I'll change it. I wish I would have had that optic back then. I wish I would have had the optic to sit back and go, I don't need to jump up. I don't need to shout. I don't need to flex. I don't need to do any of this. I don't need to do that at all. Gotta have a dial, though. It's very hard to develop.
I mean, that is the really, really interesting thing, especially to me. Like, that's what I really want to hear about.
Do you have more questions on the ego?
Yeah, the death of the ego, I think, is the biggest one.
So because I compartmentalized my whole family the whole time I was in, I was never homesick. We do 6-month deployments, 4-month, 5-month, whatever it's going to be. I'd gone for 30 days, jump trips and everything else. Never homesick. Never think about it, really. And it's not a good thing or bad. It doesn't mean I didn't love my wife, love my kids. I did, obviously. But I didn't want them to interfere with my process and whatever I was going through. Like, I needed to be an individual right now. I can't be a family guy because my family ain't here. There's no reason for me to give you any bandwidth right now when I'm trying to jump out of this airplane. Like, I need to focus on this. And a lot of that came with living life like you were single and living alternate lives. And that's a lot of the egos. I can't be the person I want to be with you right now. So whenever I'm not with you, I'll be whoever I want to be. And I'd adopt these different lives. I'd go out to Arizona and I'd live the professional skydiver life and just had a whole different group of friends and demographics and different speech and different clothes I'd wear. And different. I would just be different whenever I wanted to be. And you finally get to a point where you start to lose who you really are. And then you all start to morph together. And before you know it, like, you're combining multiple worlds into one. And the only thing I do know is, well, if I don't like it, I'll slam the wall. If I don't like this, I'll hammer down, I'll just leave. Oh, you don't like it? I'll be gone for 10 days. See you when I get back. And I just bolt. When that's no longer an option, when that identity has kind of consumed you, you really lose sight of who you really were and why you really started it. And now it wasn't so much about the end state anymore. It was about just feeding my own ego. Like, well, I have to pep talk myself. I have to tell myself I'm worthy of all this. I have to tell myself the sun rises and sets on me. And the only thing that really matters is me and my career and all the things I want to do. In reality, it's not the case. But when you're in the moment, you don't realize what you're doing. You don't realize what you're saying or the ramifications, the impact they have on others. You just don't see it for what it is. And it wasn't until I went down to Mexico and did some serious therapy, taking some psychedelics, that I really realized what the ego death was. And I know because that was the first time I'd ever been homesick. When I woke up from Ibogaine that first day, I would have cut my arm off to be home. I've never wanted to teleport back home so bad in my whole life, ever. I've never wanted to be home that bad, even though my entire world back home was just in a death spiral. It didn't matter. I just wanted to go home and wrap my arms around my old lady and my kids and just tell them I'm sorry.